Good morning! Today we'll be talking about my friends, the ancient Greeks, specifically the years 776 through 146 BC. A fun fact before we get started. Did you know that the concept of a handshake originated way back in ancient Greece? Take a look. This is a 5th century archaeological relief depicting Hera, the wife of Zeus, who was also the goddess of marriage, shaking hands with Athena, the goddess of war. When looking at the map, we can see that Greece is a country of diversified geography and climate. Bays of deeply indented coastline make the country half land and half sea. Climate is vigorous, meaning cold in the winter, dry and hot in the summer. In comparing the ancient Egyptians with the Greeks emphasized beauty by line, form, and proportion rather than color or surface. If you think back to the Egyptians capitalized on inlay materials such as ivory, lapis lazuli, gold, silver, etc. While the Egyptians used mural paintings to depict events in everyday life, the Greeks used pottery. The purpose of Greek vase painting was not only ornamental, but educational as well. This slide illustrates my favorite motif, the Endymion or honeysuckle. This motif is defined as an artistic motif resembling the fan-shaped leaves of a palm tree or honeysuckle flower. In this slide, we see great examples of both the Endymion motif, shown right here, and then right above, we see the egg and dart motif. 3 motifs are showcased in this slide. At the bottom is the fret motif, also known as the meander. Above, we have a great example right here of the lotus motif. And next to the lotus is our friend, the Endymion. Illustrated in this slide is a fabulous example of what we refer to as dentil molding, and that's dentil, D-E-N-T-I-L. And if you take a look at these blocks of marble, they represent dentils. They look like teeth. So remember, dentil molding. A beautiful shot of the Acropolis, don't you think? This image was taken by my husband when we were there visiting back in 2005. Please take time to learn these terms as we will use them frequently throughout the semester. The Greek Parthenon has had a unique history. In 1687, the interior was being used as an ammunition dump by the Turks who were at war with the Venetians. A Venetian rocket scored a direct hit, and the resultant explosion blew out the center of the building. During the past century, the colonnades have been reassembled, but the core of the structure remains a ruin. Ah, my favorite ladies and the Porch of Maidens. I am using the Porch of Maidens to illustrate the term caryatid. A caryatid is simply this. It's a female form being used as a column or pillar of support. One common feature with all Greek houses is the emphasis on the distribution of rooms around a court or atrium. This focused on inward orientation and privacy. Columns encompassed the atrium, forming what is known as a peristyle. Peristyle is a term meaning a continuous row of columns. A lot of fun things to recognize with this drawing. First of all, I'd like you to focus on the kitchen. Notice cooking was not performed over a stove. Instead, we see the use of a fire pit. And when you use a fire pit, you need a way for the smoke to escape. So look what happens. You have openings in the wall. The smoke then travels upward and out through the holes in the ceiling. The interior also depicts very small windows. And above the kitchen area, we have a sparsely furnished bedroom. We see a bed, and then we see the use of a chest. The chest would have been used for storing items such as clothing. Another accurate feature is the beamed ceiling. Shown in this slide is an example of the andron, or dining room, of a Greek home. Only the most important spaces had mosaic flooring. The other thing to notice is that the room is comprised of only men. Only men were allowed to eat in the dining room. The other unique characteristic is the U-shaped formation of the furniture. And we'll talk more about furniture later. The most iconic piece of Greek furniture is the klezmos chair. This chair is described as being delicate, well proportioned, and lacking ornamentation. The chair has a solid splat, which is shown right here. This is the splat, and a concave, broad, and flat crest rail. This piece right here is the crest rail. The klezmos chair is also distinctive for its sweeping curving lines and for its elegant simplicity. The Klein was another important piece of furniture found in a Greek home. The Greek furniture piece was used both as a bed and as a sofa. Pottery from the ancient Greek time period is a great reference in terms of furniture. As shown in this slide, the Greek Klein was designed using architecture as a reference. Notice the legs of the Klein. We see inspiration from both the Ionic capital as well as the Doric capital. Did you know that tables with circular tops rest resting on 3 legs of an animal form was a Greek innovation. Another fact, tables were usually made from stone or bronze. In conclusion, I'd like to leave you with another fun fact. It was the Greeks who invented the yo-yo, dating back to about 500 BC.